The Homesteader store really ties closely into what the LandGuys do, because most of our customers are buying land, and it's land that they have for recreational purposes, and that land needs to be maintained, and the most common way to do that is with a tractor.
So Rick, we're here in your showroom. Take us through the process that you would take a regular buyer through that's coming to you. Maybe they've got some recreational land and they're wanting to do some food plots, or maybe they're a small scale farmer, a farmette type scenario. How do you educate them on what is the appropriate tractor for them and their needs?
Okay. So the first thing we do is they've almost always done research of what horsepower, because that seems to be the thing. First thing I tell them is forget that for now. We'll get to there. That will be self-revealing actually through the process.
Okay.
What we want to do is we have this given task that we want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
We start there and we look at all the different aspects, from snow removal to tillage for the food plot and so forth. And then we say, okay, now that we know we need to do that, now what are we going to use to do that? So then we move to the attachments, and the attachments are very widely. There's hundreds of them and different ways to do different things, and some are better than others. But once we establish what attachments we're going to use, then we start to look at the width of them.
Okay.
How wide are the attachments? I want the customer to think in width first.
Not horsepower.
Not horsepower. Because the width, I need the width of the attachment to cover the wheel tracks of the tractor. Think of a tractor as a tool carrier. It can really do almost nothing in itself, but it carries tools that can be used. And so we need to have some. So we put them right here in the showroom so I can actually show how they are used by the customers. So this is called a stump jumper plate off a rough cut mower. It allows it to hit things and pivot out of the way without destroying the mower. And that's much different than a finish mower, which has a rigid blade attached to a spindle right to the deck. We talk about tillers. This is a big one, a box scraper. This is actually an arena groover for horse arenas that is way better applied to food plots. So we are the largest seller of these in the state by double of anyone else. And that's the seed bed roller. And then we get into snow attachments. This is a big part of what we do in helping people understand more than just a tractor. If you said, okay, I want this horsepower, that's golden, right? Because I can get this sale done fast. Mm-hmm. I can get my commission and go on to the next person.
Even if it's not necessarily what they actually need.
That's right. So I need a 35 horsepower tractor. Okay, you go right to the 35 horsepower tractor. Here's the contract, sale. Okay.
Right.
But what happens is you end up with a whole bunch of dissatisfied customers because they really needed a 25 horsepower tractor in a different frame. So there's different frame sizes, and here in the showroom, what we do is different, radically different than almost anyone, is we put all the physical sizes in the showroom. So you can stand right next to it and say, now this is a little bit too small, and this is a little bit, wait a minute, this is a good size. But they're all in order, because I want to organize the customer's thinking so that when they go from here, their head's not swimming.
Sure.
So if I had these in all different orders, they say, well, what about that one? They can't really compare one to the next.
Sure.
Even here, standing here, you can see the size difference between these two tractors.
Sure.
And once we establish this, the customer's light starts to go on. And so they know enough and know the horsepower required enough to do the attachments that they want to run, that's the tractor. I warmly invite you to the Homesteader stores. One is in Richland Center, one is here in Madison. Even if you don't buy from us, you'll learn so much more here, and you can see, okay, this one's this size, that size, and I can determine exactly what size I want.